When the Old Ones came to the Warhammer world thousands of years ago, they accidentally brought something else along. Upon the star-silvered ships of the Old Ones were spores that descended on the earth and became the first greenskins. The orcs and goblins exploded in population, though it did not take long for the violent hordes to attract the infinite attention of the Old Ones. The first gods declared the greenskins unfitting in their great plan, and made moves to deal with them. They sent their mighty Saurus host marching out of the temple cities to kill off all the greenskins they could find. However, despite the efforts of the lizardmen, the orcs and goblins managed to survive in the deepest, darkest places of the world that would allow them to escape the attentions of the Saurus and survive until one day they could return. After the great catastrophe brought reality to the brink of destruction, the world was strangely quiet. The Old Ones had been destroyed, chaos had forced all other races to their final bastions, and the elves had finally succeeded in creating a vortex to banish all demons to the poles. Thus, were the orcs and goblins able to return to the surface and begin conquering at will. However, these early greenskins brought more than just their endless hordes to the world. They were the first race to give rise to gods, great beings born within the ether from the emotions, beliefs, and desires of the greenskins. Like all races, this deity came to represent the strongest facets of their worshippers, and in the case of the orcs, this meant animosity and violence. Rather than a single entity, orcs and goblins gave rise to two identical orc-like gods, named Gork and Mork, or possibly Mork and Gork. Gork and Mork represent the true nature of the greenskins. Gork is more brutal, but cunning, while Mork is more cunning, but brutal. Or perhaps it's Mork is more brutal, while Gork is more cunning. In any event, the brutal aspect represents the true nature of the orcs, while the more clever aspect represents that of the goblins. The twin gods reside in a realm known to the mortal greenskins as the Great Green. It is a rather literal name, as the spirit realm of the greenskins is a greenish-hued battlefield that also functions as the orc and goblin afterlife. It is a paradise from their point of view, which means a realm where a right good fight goes on for eternity. Like their squabbling children, Gork and Mork are constantly fighting each other. They are immensely huge, as size matters greatly to the entire race of greenskins. As for equipment, almost all depictions of Gork and Mork have them wearing almost nothing, in the same fashion as savage orcs, clearly appealing to the old styles of orcish ancestry. It is interesting to note their appearance likely hasn't changed over millennia since their inception. The reason we know so much about their appearance, however, is because of all the deities in the Warhammer world, the orc gods are debatably the most active. When enough Wa energy is built up and the winds of magic blow, the shamans of the greenskins have little issue calling their gods into the mortal plane. Orc shamans in particular have a knack for summoning the hand of Gork, or possibly Mork, into the world to scoop up a friendly unit and drop them closer to the fighting, or calling down the foot of Gork, or possibly Mork, to stomp foes into the ground. This strong bond between shaman and god, however, does come at a great price, as orc and goblin shamans' heads tend to explode quite violently on an alarmingly regular basis. Gork and Mork are at their base war gods. The greenskins don't ask them for petty favors or pray for guidance. They merely rampage around from fight to fight and try to impress their gods by showing how dead-hard they are. Despite this, the brother gods seem more than happy to involve themselves in every fight their boys get into. Though the greenskins are sure to show their appreciation by defacing everything they can find and making anything available into an idol of Gork or possibly Mork, and I mean anything. As far as power goes, Gork and Mork's combination of being brutal and cunning makes them exceptionally dangerous. Besides aiding in battle, the twin gods are able to give lucky orcs or goblins visions in order to provide them advice or see the future, usually having something to do with the next fight. For instance, Skarsnik, the warlord of the Eight Peaks, had a vision in which he met the two belligerent beings, and they gave him advice on how to defeat the dwarves and chase them out of the Eight Peaks, thus allowing the Greenskins to rule supreme for a time. This is how King Lund lost, and had to abandon the hold until the return of King Belegar many centuries later. That really wraps up the Greenskin deities. They are many things, but quiet and mysterious are not included in that description. You could say they're confusing, though. The reason I keep saying Gork and Mork, or possibly Mork and Gork, is there's not any known distinction between the two gods, and it's absolutely impossible to tell which is which, even to their most devout followers. I hope you enjoyed this video looking into yet another race's deities. Who would you like to see featured next? Type a comment in the comment section below for who you would like to see. I look forward to exploring more of the lore following the gods and myths of the Warhammer world in the next installment. I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And take care. Have a good night.